This might be the shortest episode I've done so far, but that's okay. This is something that was kind of on my mind for the past few days. And after talking to a few people, I figured, why not? But something that I have been thinking about is, people ask, how do you deal with the day to day when you're, I guess, staying in your wish fulfilled and your end, right? Or, just not, what is the word? I had the word and I forgot it, but it's essentially just staying in your knowing and, managing or navigating, that's the word, navigating through your daily life when you're telling yourself, you have, this career that's making you X amount of money and you're so financially successful and abundant and free and so on and so forth. But then, you have a bill hit and you're like, okay, how am I not supposed to react to this? Or, just living in the end. And I know I struggled with this in the past, especially when it came to the financial aspect of things. Like, I know I was wanting a job and everything that could possibly happen that was absolute shit happened. And I just was like, what the hell? But the way you, I think, push through that is, let's not forget, you are allowed to feel your emotions 100%. Be upset, be angry. You know, for me, I find it best, like, if I don't feel the anger, like, I'm just like, okay, it's fine. Being neutral about it. Being neutral really neutralizes everything, and I feel like it helps you deal with the situation better, and it helps you get over it quicker, and then you're not dwelling on it, and you're kind of, think of it like as a staircase, and you have to take the stairs, and at the end is your goal, right? Your manifestation or whatever. And so your desire, each staircase though, like, depending, like, let's say you take the first 10 steps and you're quick as hell, right? You're like, oh, I got the energy, I'm good. But then the 11th step comes and all of a sudden you're feeling a little bit tired, so you start slowing down. And so your energy levels, think of it as the circumstances coming at you. In the beginning, you're like, yeah, I got this, nothing phases me, right? So you kind of brush things off, you don't really pay attention to it, you're like, nope, I got this. And then there might come a point where you start to feel like, okay, well, what the hell, why am I still getting these shitty situations? And so in that moment is when you, again, for me, I think personally it's better to just be like, okay, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, it's figure outable, as they say. Something that I have learned over the years that helps me, even before I knew, about the law, was breaking it down as till I get to, like, the core of it. So, like, okay, how bad is this situation? Oh, it's so bad. Okay, well, what is the absolute worst that can happen from the situation? You know, let's say, for instance, if it's finances, oh, I'm going to be homeless. Okay, well, am I going to be homeless? No, because maybe I have a little bit of money, or maybe I have someone I could borrow from, or, something or the other, right? And then, okay, so if I'm not going to be homeless and I have someone, then what's the next worst thing that can happen, right? And then you're like, well, what if I can't pay a bill? Okay, that's fine. You can postpone it, right? You can extend it. And then what's the next worst thing that can happen? What if I am without food? Again, you could probably find a solution to it. So keep breaking it down. And my thing now is, what is the worst that can happen? I die. Okay, well, I'm not afraid of death anymore. So that's really not the worst that can happen anymore. So I don't, now, again, that might take people a little bit longer to get to, because, I know everyone has their own opinions on death. And it took me a long time to get, it took me 24, 22 years to get here. So that's different. But breaking it down, I find, is really helpful. Again, it helps with me. So, like, next time you're facing something, break it down for from the absolute worst to see how far you can get, and then you're gonna realize that it's actually not so bad. And it is figure outable. Everything is. There's always a solution to something. It's never as bad as as we think it is. It just seems bad because we're giving it that detrimental value, right? Like, oh my God, this is the end of the world for me. And it's like, no, babes, it's not the end of the world. The world's going to continue to run and rotate and go round, right? You can too. Um, so there's that, breaking it down. And then, just for those that want to feel it and be angry and, allow your emotions, fine, you can do that. But after you feel that anger or whatever, it has to be like a release. Okay, you felt angry. Now tell yourself, all right, I was angry. I felt that frustration. I vented. I screamed. I broke a plate, whatever. And then go back to your end state. Go back to being whoever it is that you're being. The person that doesn't have these kinds of concerns, because if everything was working for you right now, you wouldn't be worried about this. You'd be like, oh, it's not a big deal. These things wouldn't happen to you, right? So you go back to that identity and you shift back to that state and you move on with your day, just like you would any other day. Go on and a lot of times, was it Socrates that said we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality? Because we sit here thinking like, oh my God, but tomorrow isn't even here yet. The only moment you have is right here, right now. I watched a video from Rupert Spira. He was doing like a meditation retreat, I think, and someone asked, well, I know here I feel good and I'm, in this meditative state and I know how to deal with my emotions, but I'm afraid next week when I go home, I'm not going to know how to handle it. And he's all like, why are you worried about next week? You're here now. In this moment, you're able to confront your emotions and your fears and anything else, and you feel powerful and strong, right? That's all that matters, this moment. He's like, next week is not here. You don't know what's going to happen next week. It is not guaranteed. We think so much so that tomorrow is so certain, but you don't really know that. No one knows that. It feels like it, right? Because it's a day-to-day. You wake up, you brush your teeth, go to work, do this, do that. But it's not certain. Your life can change with the flip of a switch, right? But, look at it as flipping in your favor and not the absolute worst. But why are you worrying about the tomorrow that doesn't exist? The only thing that exists is right here, right now. So focus on right here, right now. Right here, right now. Are you about to die? No. Are you about to burst in flames? No. Are you going to be homeless? No. Are you going to go to jail? No. You know what I mean? Like in this moment, the misery that you think is going to happen is not going to happen. It's not even going to happen next week. I'm like 90% sure of that, right? But you think it is because you keep telling yourself it is, and that's not the case. So feel this moment, fine, be angry right now, and then just go back. Go play some nice music that's like uplift your moods. Go for a walk, call a friend, but don't keep dwelling. Don't keep venting to your friend, and then that friend's gonna join in on you, and then you're gonna keep going down this rabbit hole of shit feelings. You don't want to do that. But go watch a nice movie, watch something funny. Comedy movies are always a great way to boost your emotions and your states or whatever you want to call it. Go do an activity, draw, write something, right? Do anything else to just kind of shift your attention for a minute. You don't have to distract yourself all day long because that can be exhausting, but just, take a chill pill. Literally, I wish they made... there should be placebo pills that are called chill pills, and they're probably just like a sugar pill, and it says, oh, if you take this, like the ashwagandha coffees and teas and things they're making now, like, oh, drink this, the nootropics, drink this and you're gonna feel so much better. I should just make a pill that says it's a chill pill and it's backed by science and it has X, Y, and Z, and then start selling it to people and telling them it's gonna chill them out. Like, here you go, here's a chill pill, It's all literally all in your head. All that misery is in your head. It does not exist out here. And if it's existing in your head, guess what else exists in your head? The good things, the positive things, the happy feelings, the love, the financial stability, the freedom, everything. So instead of dwelling on how miserable it could be, why not dwell on how great it could be? It's the, what's the word I'm looking for? The dichotomy of it, I guess you want to call it. I don't know if that's the right word, but, just get out of your head. And that's far easier said than done. As someone, again, we humans we think of 1 trillion thoughts a day. So at one point are you going to catch all your thoughts? Are you going to sit there and try to monitor them? You're going to drive yourself crazy. The point is not monitoring all of it. It's to catch yourself being a little bit more cognizant when you see yourself kind of going down a similar path as you normally do. Just be like, hey, okay, well, why are we thinking like this? What is leading me to think like this right here, right now? Is it the fact that someone emailed you something and you're tripping out? Did, your family member text you something? Did you see an ad for something? You watched a show that maybe triggered a memory? Like, you know what I mean? All of that is not even happening now. The moment passed. And in this moment, none of that it really exists. So you're still fine, you know? And yeah, I know that it's easier said than done. But again, I was someone who, you could ask anyone that knew me before 2020. I was a miserable person. And again, there was a point when I was younger, early teens to I don't know what point, I was convinced I was going to die by the age of 25 because I thought my life was so miserable and blah, 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 blah. But I'm not dead and I'm still here. But I was talking to a friend and I was like, metaphorically speaking, I guess the old me did die by 25 because I've, learned so much more and I'm changing every day as we all are, right? So I guess in some way the old me died in 2025, by 2025, by the age of 25. But anyway, all this is to say it will be okay because it has to be okay. There's nothing that serious in life. And it might seem like it, but you know how easy it is to not get caught up? Close your eyes. It's like that online bullying thing that people used to say, like, oh, how is online bullying even real? All you do is close your laptop, turn off your computer, lock your phone, and then no one can bully you, right? Because it's happening through a screen that's not even real. It's someone that's typing. It could be AI, could be a real person, could be not. But how easy is it to just click, lock your phone, and then you walk away from your phone? No one's bullying you now, right? So similar to your problems, whatever it is that's bothering you, just turn away from it. Because even if you think it's so real and it's happening, fine. If you turn away from it for a moment and you catch a breather and you think your problem is still going to be there, okay, well, it's still going to be there. So what's wrong with turning away for a moment and distracting yourself? Because you're saying it's still going to be there, right? I don't think it's going to be there. If you shift your focus, it'll change. But that's, up to each person. Anyway, that's all on that. I might add more. I wanted to add some different bits on something that I saw, again, from Rupert Spira, but this was the main part of it that I wanted to get out. I didn't want it to turn into like a amalgamation of different thoughts in one. So, yeah.